Hey, good evening. Meteorologist Chris Smith here in the Panhandle Weather Studios. Looks like I feel a little brighter
Yeah,
right now.
you're
It's
bright.
not as dark. Dan and I have been working on that this afternoon. I think it looks a little bit better now.
Yeah, we could just darken it maybe a little bit, but it certainly is a lot better than where it was like
Yes.
this weekend, and always improving we are.
Yes, so always trying to at least every day. We're now enjoying quiet weather after storminess on Saturday. Sunday was pretty quiet. Watch football. That's about it.
Not talking about it. I don't know how you bench the starters for the chance at the 2 seed, especially when you know Sam Darnold's the quarterback of the 1 seed, so they're not going on a deep run.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
That's true. But work week got off to a pretty good start. My wife back to work in the school system. Kids go back tomorrow, depending upon the school district. Bay County, I know, is tomorrow. Walton County is Wednesday.
As if they haven't had enough time at home.
I tell you what, it seems like they've had forever.
But we are doing pretty good here. Of course, the work continued in the Panhandle weather, so it is the start of another week and another opportunity for things to change quickly here. A whole lot of different things going on in the weather world for us. The warm weather kind of dominates the headline short term, and with the warm weather comes fog, but then this weekend, cold front, some more rainfall we need, and then cooler temperatures too.
Yeah, could be some storms Friday night into Saturday that we'll keep an eye on. Right now, severe weather threat doesn't look like it's much, but we still got a lot of days to go here as we look across northwest Florida. Let's take a gander outside right now. It's 61 degrees. Winds are out of the southeast at 5. That's one of the things you probably notice, southeasterly winds at 5. That's pumping in the moisture from the Gulf, and that's going to help lead to the development of at least a little bit of fog tonight across our area. Over from Panama City, we take a gander and move the camera. Let's see, go over to Destin. We have temperature 61, dew point of 58 degrees is where we stand right now. Winds are basically out of the southeast at 5. You see a little bit of a rustling there in the leaves or the palm fronds there. Schooners is quiet for the month, rest of the month. So I hear 60 degrees, southeast wind at 5 miles per hour. And over at Pineapple Willie's there, you see a little bit of a breeze going on. But looking out towards the pier, you can look out there to the west, and the pier there, looking at the county pier off into the distance, all illuminated there this evening, and a little bit of a breeze as we talked about. Temperatures today did climb up mainly into the 60s, even upper 60s in a few spots across our area. 69 degrees at Northwest Beaches, 64 degrees over into Destin. And live Doppler radar remains all quiet this evening across our neck of the woods. Northeast, surprise, surprise, dealing with snow, lake effect snow, and a little clipper system sliding through parts of New England into Maine. The west coast, another storm system moving in across the west coast as well. You can see that moving into San Francisco. That should bring hopefully some snow to the upper elevations there out across the west coast. Get a little bit of that snow going on. Temperatures right now currently into the 50s and 60s. It's not going to be as cool tonight as what it has been. To talk more about that and the possibility of fog, let's go to meteorologist Dan Nyman.
Yeah, temperatures on the rise, of course, so is moisture, so it's no surprise that we'd be talking about the arrival of some fog across the area. We've settled into the 60s like Chris talked about. You talk about hanging around just about where we were this time last night, although slightly warmer as you get in across the Apalachicola River and down towards parts of the Big Bend. Winds starting to shift onshore, especially into the western panhandle right now. You see that sort of southeasterly flow. It is very light, though, for most of us, a very calm wind, not a noticeable wind out there, but the beginnings and the makings of seeing some changes as we head through, say, the next 24 hours. And with the winds light tonight, but already that onshore flow and a little more moisture, notice this, over the next several hours, 5 to 10 mile per hour winds continuing along the coastline here. We will see that help us with the development of perhaps some patchy fog in spots through the overnight hours tonight. This just a few moments from now, and you got 5 to 10 miles per hour over towards Inlet Beach. And then as you move through the overnight hours, you'll see very little variance or changes with that. It is just a light wind that continues all the way until tomorrow morning. So here's what that does for us here. Even as we get in through tomorrow, you see a little more breezy and a little more onshore there across Apalachicola, back west as well. This will get us into some pretty good feels, pretty comfortable conditions throughout the upcoming week. But I think, as we often see this time of year, blowing over the cooler Gulf waters that wind is, you'll have an opportunity for some patchy fog towards the west, filling in across I-10, the western panhandle, and over east towards Tallahassee, I should say. At least seeing somewhat decreased visibilities, low clouds for sure lowering for the area. And as you wake up on Tuesday morning, perhaps not looking quite as sunny outside. You'll see that here with the Futurecast. Certainly some cloud coverage passing through. We were talking before the show tonight that the models probably overdo the cloud coverage just a bit for our area, but certainly you get the idea. Far from a sunny start, or at least completely sunny skies throughout the day as well. Just a mix of sun and clouds passing through within that southwesterly flow. So for tonight, comfortable, of course. Temps slow to cool down through the 50s. And you'll notice from 52, you actually warm just a bit, getting closer towards sunrise. A little bit of cloud coverage out there throughout that time frame, and then the fog settles in just before sunrise. And from that, Chris, of course, we'll be seeing low temperatures back into the 50s inland. Should be closer towards 60 at the coast, Pensacola to 58 degrees. You're down to the 40s, though, for Blountstown very briefly there. 51 degrees over towards Wewa. So comfortable conditions to get going. The light coat may be useful early out the door tomorrow, but from there we should be building pretty quickly towards warmer temperatures for the afternoon. That's the story for much of the upcoming week.
You know, the thing I was noticing, the temperatures right now aren't too far away from the low temperatures, but that's going to be the story tonight. Is we kind of drop quickly and then either level off or actually see those temperatures rise while you're sleeping tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty comfortable. I don't think it feels all that bad outside right now. So a week I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. Coming up in just a minute, we're going to talk. We got some photos that you guys have been sending in. Also, we're going to talk about the week's forecast, a nice warm up on the way, some storms later this week, and maybe severe weather for parts of the South. The details on that in just a minute.
Your piece of land demands the very best equipment. Kubota equipment. The #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. with professional-grade mowers, versatile sidekick utility vehicles, and compact tractors that get it done right. All backed by unmatched dealer support. Talk to your dealer today to schedule a demo.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing that keeps us focused.
A habit we never skip to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game, to drown out that self-doubt and support your mental health? Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and your mental health.
Discover the resources that you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
Toyotathon is on at Panama City Toyota, where you can get 1.99% APR on a new Camry and get $500 in holiday cash. Get 3.49% APR on a new Corolla and get $500 in holiday cash. Get 1.99% on a new Tacoma, plus $1,000 in holiday cash. And 1.99% on a new Tundra, plus you'll get $1,000 in holiday cash. Shake up your holidays at Toyotathon.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Now, from your trusted team of meteorologists at Panhandle Weather, this is your evening forecast update.
Well, this evening across northwest Florida, looking pretty good out there. Look at the sunset this evening. This coming in from our good friend Ernie Hill, who's buddies with Jim Dillamarter, who is one of our favorite snowbirds that made the poor choice to stay in Canada this year. He's been sending pictures of just getting pounded with snow up there. It's been incredible. But thank you very much for sending in that picture. The Youpers sending in a picture as well. That's not their picture, though. I forgot to update their picture. David Wesley. It was a really nice picture too. It's like kind of that same sideways view. David Wesley, a few clouds overhead. And then this is Tiffany over in Grand Lagoon, and kind of look at the feathered look to the clouds there, looking out over across Grand Lagoon today. But there you saw, some of us saw some sunshine. I know a lot of my inland friends up towards Chipley kind of were mired in the clouds for a little bit longer than, say, what some folks were down along the beaches, which saw a fair amount of sunshine. There you go. Right now, Sharky's open this evening, and as we look out over across the Gulf, temperatures on the cool side for sure, right around 60 degrees. But meanwhile, we have a nice onshore southeasterly wind at about 5 miles per hour. Looking out over into Destin, you're at 61 degrees, a light breeze going, everything okay across the Martha Bridge. And then over into Grand Lagoon this evening with the Sea Screamer there looking awfully nice. Over into St. Andrews, we look over towards Port Panama City this evening. We have mostly clear skies, just a few clouds overhead. We'll see those clouds gradually thicken back up with the possibility of some fog as we head through the overnight hours tonight into tomorrow morning. I don't think it's going to be completely widespread, but do keep that in mind. Tomorrow. Winds are coming in out of the southeast and south, and then as we head into Tuesday, we see more of a southwesterly wind begin to develop across our area, and those winds may pick up at least a little bit across our region, but the point being, it's bringing in moisture from the Gulf, and that is going to lead to warmer temperatures, especially overnight, but also during the day as well across our area. On Wednesday, we actually have a little front kind of sideswipe us a little bit, and that will briefly change our winds to west to northwest. Could knock down the humidity just a teeny bit, but I don't think it's going to be anything significant. The predominant flow will be that southerly flow over the course of the week across northwest Florida. So as you look at our future clouds and radar and what's going to be happening here over the next 24 hours or so, we're going to continue to see those that moisture stream in from the south and west across our area. Temperatures tonight will drop low 50s inland, 60s or right around 60 for the beaches. High temperatures tomorrow should climb up into the 70s, but again, we have to get through that fog that's going to develop during the overnight hours tonight. So say if you're like Teresa up in Sneeds, you might have to deal with a little bit of fog in spots across our area. And this is the latest fog model showing some of that fog from Freeport to Defuniak Springs over to Crestview, west of Pensacola. And just kind of keep it in mind. For the kids at the bus stop, starting off into the 50s, Bay County kids back to school, I know for sure. 70s as we head into tomorrow afternoon. So a mild day, relatively speaking. So a little light jacket, that'll be about it. Dress in layers, it should be plenty warm by the afternoon. High temperatures Tuesday, mainly into the 70s across our area, and then we'll see temperatures Wednesday morning into the right around 60s, just about area wide, 59 and then 60s along the coastline. That's that moisture that continues to increase. And as we move through Tuesday evening into Wednesday morning, again, there will be the possibility of some patchy dense fog developing here across parts of northwest Florida. So just something to keep in mind, that fog kind of being a little bit of a bugaboo here over the next several days. High temperatures today, look at this, 70s, just about area wide, even upper 70s, and I think that's the case for Thursday and on into Friday as well. Now, to talk more about better rain chances this weekend and a chance of storms, not only here, but also some severe weather across the south, it's going to meteorologist Dan Nyman.
Yep, storm's going to be a headline. Probably not so much for us in the Panhandle as up towards the northwest. Talk about Mississippi, Arkansas, for example, where rain chances peak just a couple of days before they do for us. And with that, we will see, obviously, the back end of that front starting to slide on through. There you see about a 40 to 50% shot of showers and thunderstorms as you work your way on towards the weekend. What comes up must go down. You see this oftentimes, especially in the winter, where the jet is a little more effective for creating weather events right down towards the Gulf Coast. Brief little ridging building in right now. That's high pressure, fair weather, sun sunshine generally is the predominant scene, although with the moisture return, we are going to be able to spur up some clouds throughout the next couple of days. And that continues all the way through Thursday for us, but taking shape across the western part of the country. That trough that's been sitting stationary, producing a whole lot of rainfall for parts of the west coast. Northern California, of course, is seeing a decent amount of rain this afternoon. It eventually releases and sends off towards the east, digging south while doing so. And that dip in the jet stream is what creates a lot of lift in this area here. So no surprise, the Storm Prediction Center already outlining a day 5 chance of severe weather right there in that yellow shaded area. Of course, well west of us and north of us too, but a sign that potent weather will be possible as you get that surge of moisture meeting up with the front and all of this lift on the leading edge of that trough, producing at least some active weather across parts of the Mississippi River Valley. And then as you get towards the east, that trough does sneak its way through for us, and you'll notice a little more of a cooler flow taking shape behind that. So we'll see the front pass through and then settle into this, a slightly cooler feel for the weekend. Not the most predominant dip in the jet for us. You don't see that persistent flow of cooler temperatures from up towards the north, but it will be enough, of course, post-frontal for temps to reset and be a little more wintry for the upcoming weekend. Let's talk about that severe weather threat, a 15% chance within this area, within 25 miles of any point within this area. And we could see anything like severe straight line winds, maybe some hail, perhaps a tornado possible as well. All happening as this front dips through towards the south. This is the first of 2 fronts that we'll see. So there's your weak one at first, and then rainfall starting to accumulate along the next one, which dives through on Friday and produces a brief little line of storms there passing throughout the day on Friday. So you'll see right along the leading edge of that some pretty intense weather briefly sliding through a good part of the southeast, and by the time it gets to us, it's a little less impressive looking on the models, but perhaps something we still need to watch closely. You do see that with the rainfall totals here, which are obviously highest to the north and a little bit back towards the west for us. The rainfall totals tapering off pretty quickly, so there's a sign of that front losing a little bit of gusto as it slides across the Panhandle. Still, though, we could see a quarter, maybe even a half an inch of rainfall up towards Crestview, which could be useful. Still pretty dry conditions out across the area. So for this weekend, we'll watch for that chance of showers and thunderstorms, and then temperatures dropping quickly, of course, Chris, and obviously with the dip in temperatures, things kind of resetting to wintertime for at least a couple of days. Not a long cool down, though.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really just a return to maybe more average conditions than it is anything significant. We don't, as it stands right now, I don't see any freezing temperatures in the forecast as we make way on into the weekend. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about what's going to be happening with these temperatures. Mild weather this week, well up into the 70s, low 70s at the coast, mid to upper 70s inland, but there you see that drop in temperatures Sunday into Monday of next week. Certainly below average, but nothing outrageous. More on the high side, the low temperatures you'll see will end up going up into the 60s for a few days, and then we drop down into the 40s and then maybe 30s as we head into next Monday, I'm sorry. So colder inland, could get close to freezing, but should stay above freezing along the coastline. But you see, it should be a fairly brief cool down. Notice as we go through the middle part of the month, there's a high likelihood in the center and western part of the United States for below average precipitation. We're kind of on the fringe there as far as the confidence in seeing above or below average precipitation. Right now, below average precipitation. And then across the northern Gulf Coast, you see there's a decent chance of, say, below average temperatures for the middle part of the month. So at least there's that. But much of the country expected to be above average. 7-day forecast here. Again, there's your chance of rainfall Friday into Saturday. That's primarily an overnight type thing. So I think afternoon on Saturday, I think we should be okay. So if you have outdoor plans this weekend, most of the weekend, it'll be like 75+% of the weekend will be just fine. But just be aware on Sunday, it will be chilly with highs only into the 50s and lows down into the 40s. And then we'll see exactly how cold it ends up getting there on Monday. But right now, down to the low to mid 30s inland and then upper 30s down along the coastline for your Monday morning forecast. So a little something for everyone here, Dan. We have warm weather, certainly warm weather. Look at that, upper 70s. But the cold stuff returns next week or the end of the week, but nothing too crazy expected.
Yeah, and one of the things on the backside of that front I did see is maybe a little bit windy there, so you'll probably see a lot of wind chill maps across the internet here over the next couple of days. The forecast temperatures for those certainly probably a lot more impressive than what actual temperatures shape up to be, which for all intents and purposes is just another winter feel, another reset in what is often a very turbulent time as far as temperatures go.
I'm a big fan, my personal thing, I'm a big fan of warm weather, but like I need the cold weather because the summers here are a bit much.
Yeah.
And so I enjoy these like little cold dips. I can deal with 50s and 30s and 40s for a couple days and then onward and upward. But all in all, not a bad forecast for the week ahead. I would like to see a little more rain Saturday. We're probably talking like a 1/4 inch of rain, and that's not a whole lot, but you know, maybe the next one.
Yeah, but we've been saying that it seems like a long time, but obviously there's probably that one gets a thunderstorm and they can brag to everybody else. And then of course, back to the cold part of things, I like 30s. It's 20s when things get annoying because you start talking about wrapping pipes and having to do something about it.
We don't need to freeze.
Yeah, we'll do 30s.
Let's see, Laverne, thank you very much. We love you down East Point. As we mentioned, Teresa and Sneeds, Austin Allen, good evening. Melissa, hey, how you doing? We appreciate you. Guess what? We'll call it.
I can't even see the time. My watch battery's dead.
Oh no, 6:26 here on this Monday evening. We're gonna go ahead and send it out, but I hope you all had a wonderful start to the day. Good luck to moms and dads and teachers and kids that are going back to school tomorrow. Good luck.
There's only 5 months left.